Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Antiquity, and welcome back to some more Starcraft 2. Spawning in the bottom right corner of the Ruins of Saras as the blue Protoss is LiquidMaNa. His opponent in the upper left corner as the teal Terran is CM StormPolt. Now this particular replay actually comes from Spawning Tool, and I'll post a link to the website in the description of this video. I had spoke with one of the administrators for that website and asked if I could cast a couple of their games. They said, absolutely, go for it. Let us know when you do, and we will post a link for the replay on our Twitter and see if we can get the name out there. So I grabbed a couple of their replays of some players that I followed a lot, and grabbed a couple of their replays. LiquidMaNa definitely being one of those people that I liked and enjoyed watching. We do see an early gateway coming out from LiquidMaNa, so he's probably going to go for that early aggression and early harass. And we'll see what Storm has to offer in counter to that. Just see the early 16-17 barracks come out. Very kind of standard play, although he is picking up the double gas. Something very interesting. You have to wonder what type of play he's going to go with. And LiquidMaNa does pick up the 1 minute expansion, or the 1 minute 10 expansion, so definitely going for that almost early macro type of game. And decided to finally pick up just one gas, so he's very likely going to start pumping out some zealots here for some type of early defense and aggression. We do see the cybernetics core come down. Again, a very standard Protoss opening. Nothing out of the ordinary there. CM's Storm is going to go ahead and start going for the Reaper harass. And drop the factory right behind it, so I imagine here shortly we're going to start to see either the reactor or the tech lab dropped on the barracks, and we're going to see the swap around. Both players trying to do a little bit of scouting. I think by now they've figured out they are in the cross position. As at the same time, LiquidMaNa went for the straight opposite side, and so did Storm. So they probably know by now they're in the cross position as each. And LiquidMaNa actually chrono boosting out the Stalker. The Stalker first, to start bringing in its type of harassment. So sure enough, there is that reactor. So I imagine we're going to start to see the switch around coming from both, or we may not actually. We'll definitely see the starport switch around, likely onto the tech lab would be my guess. And so we can start bringing out likely Banshees. LiquidMaNa just stopping any type of scouting information that CM might have gotten. Sure enough, he actually didn't get squat. Storm just getting shut down from LiquidMaNa. And absolutely no information has been gained. There's the mothership core coming out of LiquidMaNa. And a complete wall-off. Very interesting play. Complete wall-off from Storm. And we start to see some adapts coming out for LiquidMaNa. Definitely a very common unit being used these days by Protoss. Is some nice harass, as they do great against simple bio, but later in the game they start to become a little bit more of a challenge to be used. And again, LiquidMaNa just stopping any type of scouting information from Storm, just saying, nope, you can't have that information. And we're actually going to see the Cyclone play coming out of Storm. So no type of swap around at all. He decided to go straight into Cyclones. Very interesting play coming from Storm. And I think he's going to try and get something done. We do have that Hellion running all the way in. Just kind of hanging out at LiquidMaNa's third. The CP moves out and tries to get that expansion anytime soon. We just see a War Prism coming in from LiquidMaNa. And there is a complete drop, including a Widow Mine and 6 Marines streaming across the map. We definitely see some heavy drop play coming in, and we just got to wonder if that's going to go into the natural or not. And we don't see anything too... We're actually going to see some drop play coming from LiquidMaNa as well, as he loads up a load of adepts into a War Prism. And we'll see drop play from both players. Very interesting. There's the drop coming from Storm. He actually just dropped in that Widow Mine right into that mineral line and took out a ton of probes. Absolute ton of damage. LiquidMaNa does have the Observer and the Stalker to manage to go ahead and pick that off, and sure enough, 11 probes go down. Huge hit from that Widow Mine. That was absolutely just a massive hit to LiquidMaNa's income. And that is going to be a little bit of a trick to come back from. we start to see LiquidMaNa kind of force off that drop, but I don't think Storm's willing to give it up that easily. He's still got a handful of Marines sitting in that medevac. And we actually see the Banshee come in, and Cloak is just about finished for the Banshees. We actually see, sure enough, a ton of adepts go running into the mineral line of Storm, and Storm loses down 11 SCVs, while at the same time, Storm has decided to counter drop as well and take out 6 more of LiquidMaNa's probes. Both players just doing a ton of damage to each other's income. And we see those adepts really kind of paying off, taking down a total of 12 SCVs. Those adepts paying for themselves in aces. This drop doing a ton of damage just the same too. He's only got a couple of Marines left, but he managed to pick off 12 probes as well. And we see yet another drop over here. Actually, we see that Cloak Banshee play pick off a couple more probes. Man, each player just not wanting to let the other one get going. And we see just a ton of damage coming out from both. Truly some impressive play. We do see the blink coming out for LiquidMaNa, so he's going to start hitting that more blink stalker play. And he's going to go streaming across the map with a handful of units to try and get a little bit of damage done. There's that Cyclone that was produced earlier but never really done anything. It does get picked off. Well, LiquidMaNa's not careful. He's going to lose all of his stalkers, but he does bring in those adepts right behind it. He should be able to take down this force no problem. And he does, and Storm says GG. Wow. With each player doing so much income damage, you know, when you get up to GM League like this is why I enjoy these games so much. You get up to GM League games like this, it is the little stuff that really determines who's going to win out on the game. You know, there was a lot of income damage done to both, but it still stayed pretty even. But when you start losing just a little bit of army like that, it makes all the difference in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you in the next one.